This is a big rich town. I just come from the poorest part. Bright light, city lights, I gotta make it. This is where it goes down. I just happen to come apart. Legal or illegal, baby, I gotta make it.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Power After Hours, your favorite power podcast. I'm your host, Jeff J. Chrissy's here too, and we are here to talk about Power, Season 6, Episode 6, Inside Man. Chrissy, what's going on?
What's good, man? What's going on with you?
I mean, you know, another day, another episode of Power. Got all of this 24-hour heist scheme to get $2 million. What did you think? What would you think overall about the episode? Let's talk about it.
It was a lot going on from the very beginning. I would just like to say that I kind of predicted that I thought, you know, after seeing the previews last week, that I thought Tariq was a part of the plan.
You did.
To get the $2 million, and I was proved correct right off the bat. In the beginning of this episode, it pretty much confirmed my thoughts, and I'm just Tariq, man. I don't know where he stands. Like, he's really like, it's hard to see. Like, is he with his father? Is he against his father? Is he with Tommy against Tommy? Like, or is he just all for himself at this point? Like, I really don't know where Tariq stands, and it's getting mad confusing.
Yeah, it's getting harder to stand for him.
Yeah.
Because, and I'm thinking about it. We never really got an exact reason why he set this plan up, and maybe we'll get it in the future episodes. Right. But he was in a bad place with Vincent. He tried to scam him. So I guess, if I'm guessing, the idea was he told him, hey, they'll raise the money for me. If you put me in danger, they'll all put their heads together and they'll come up with whatever price you need. And he said, okay, that's a good idea. You smart. We'll do a fake extortion thing, where I think Vincent was still all in on killing Tariq at the end. Like, that was still a go. But he said, okay, you know, what's the worst that could happen? I still kill the kid if you don't come up with my money, or I could get money. And then we go through this entire heist scenario.
Right.
Or whatever, 2 million in 24 hours.
Which ended up being 2 million in 48 hours.
Well, 3 million, really.
Oh, God, yeah. Jeez, my God.
3 million plus.
This is crazy, yo. Like, so many moving pieces. Like, as I'm watching this episode, I'm like, this is getting out of hand. Like, it's almost unbelievable how far this episode went. Like, I want to believe that Tariq has goodness in him, but the more and more it goes on, he's being lost to the game. And I'm starting to wonder, like, is it really because of him seeing what his father did and the lies that he was told? But every parent lies to their kids to some extent, because you really don't want them to know the full truth, you know, especially if your parents are involved in some shit like Ghost and Tasha were. So I understood a lot of where, you know, Ghost and Tasha lied to Tariq, but do you really go this far with it? Like, for that?
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I think I know we had that big conversation last week with shout out to Said, about whether or not Tariq has the chops to do this. And I think he thinks of these elaborate plans, and it's just by circumstance that I don't think he calculates certain things. We haven't seen anything in the character that would say he calculates these moves. Like, he knew the things that happened in the end would happen and he would be saved. And it clearly wasn't like that when he was getting his ass beat with the oranges, which I know everybody's applauded.
Listen, some of those memes that were coming through as he was getting his ass beat had me dying. Y'all really cannot stand Tariq. And the more and more things happen to him, y'all just get better and better with your reactions. Like, folk was sitting there, like, clapping, doing the whole church praise dance. Like, we've been waiting for Tariq to get his ass beat for 6 seasons, and we finally got that.
It took an Italian mobster to do it, but he still got his baton, and we gonna keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? So Tommy and Ghost put their heads together to come up with an idea to get the $2 million in 24 hours. Tommy was gonna get them all the product from Jason, and Ghost was gonna get $1 million advance from Tate. I guess what it was that he got the $1 million from Tate so that Tommy could give Mitich that money so he could get the product. So that's basically how they got it. They were able to flip that into and use part of that to flip into the $2 million. So you saw drug dealing on a whole nother level where he used every single resource. He used Dre. He used the dude Alphonse. They used everybody. And I like one of the things I like is when they're showing the little fissures in Tommy's org, because they basically sold that for free. Yeah. And he just said, yo, you can't get paid now. I'm going to have to hit you on a later date. And at first, Tupid and Spank were like, yo, dog. They tried to do like a labor dispute.
They did. They tried, man.
They tried the union. And Grimace was just like, yo, I'll do that shit. And they looked at him like a scab. Like, he definitely crossed the picket line with that.
Well, he was like, a child is missing. And they was like, and my nigga? Like, I'm still trying to get paid.
My pockets are missing too. Like, what's really good? You know what I mean? And I I think the one character, because let's be real, this episode was pretty straightforward. It was pretty straightforward. It felt like a transitional episode where the whole episode was basically about trying to save Tariq Badass and getting the money. So in getting that $1 million from Tate, them pushing the drugs, they were able to make it. They got the money until Jason rolled up on them.
Unreal.
And took the money, took half of it. That's when they finally figured out, which either one of them didn't know, that they were getting played by Jason, where he revealed himself, where Tommy was paying for security and Ghost was paying for basically killing his man and shooting up Tommy's rod. So they both figured that out. And he said, fuck it, you wanted to do all of this. I'll take half and you figure out the other half, right? Which is a cool twist. Now they got to come up with another $1 million. Yeah. What they get the extension, and that's what led to Tariq getting his ass beat. I love when he got his ass beat. He looked at him like, yo, that wasn't part of the plan. He said, yo, neither was them coming up with half my money. So
it's my plan now.
It's my plan now. You getting your ass beat with some oranges.
And that again just shows the immaturity of Tariq. Like you said, he doesn't really think through, in business, you really have to think about the worst case scenario. What could possibly go wrong and how would I be able to handle that? And I think that's the one thing that Ghost is actually pretty good at. He's really good at navigating when the worst case scenario does come his way, and he stays cool, collected, and figures out a way to, deviate and adjust. Tariq did not do that. He assumes he got this little cocky aura to him. Like, he feels like he's entitled. And I feel like that's going to be what ends up either getting him killed or ends up getting his ass beat even worse than what we saw in this episode.
Right. And I think two things that was big about this episode that I think is going to be important for the rest of the series. We got some Tate character development. We got some backstory on him. Didn't know that he used to be a cop. That was cool. He used to be a cop, and he's pretty much been getting bitched this whole season between him and Ramona, where every time he wants to do something, Ghost and Ramona have a conversation, and it seems like he gets outvoted. So he tells them he wants his money back. If the accountants find the money missing, that's the end of the campaign anyway. So stop fucking with him. He wants to get the money back. And we also got the return of the calculated Ghost. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, this was season 2 smart Ghost with how they set it up. So they were in a position where they only had the $1 million. He had to return. Well, actually, you know what? They did have to raise a whole nother $2 million because they had to put that $1 million back for Tate. So how were they able to do that? Tasha finally tells about Zig, the dude who somehow is forcing her to sell drugs, whatever. Tells them about this dude. Right.
Air quotes for forcing.
Right. So they lean on him to move mad weight. And they're moving it through the strip club, which that was cool. You see, they finally got everybody involved moving the weight through the strip club. Yeah. And then I can't remember whose idea was it to rob Truth.
That was Ghost's idea.
That was Ghost.
No. It was
it
Tasha's idea.
I want to say it was. I want to say it was Tasha. Let me see.
Yeah, because she says truth. We go through truth, and Ghost was like, wait a minute, that's my business, like da. And she breaks down what she means about it, and then they realize, oh shit.
Right, and he was like, good idea, Tasha.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So they robbed the fundraiser. Everybody in there got money, got jewels, whatever. Rob the fundraiser, and then get Benny's people to fence it so that they would be able to get the money. And he also was leaning, which was another big development, leaning on Benny to help push the product that he had from Zig, and also confirming that it must have been the dude who Proctor told him about that killed him. Because that was the other thing. We all just assumed he knew it was Tommy that shot his spot up.
Yeah.
He still didn't know who came and shot his spot up.
Which is crazy to me.
He didn't know. So he thought it was the like Emil or whatever the dude was that Proctor said he represented, right?
Yeah.
And so he had Benny on his side, and Benny was like, yo, I got you, condolences, blah, blah. He had Benny. They were selling with Zig. And then they had the plan to rob Truth. And this was also another opportunity for Tate, because, Alphonse definitely went off the reservation, because 2-Bit and Spank, they got all of the jewelry and whatever. And I like how 2-Bit was fucking with Ghost, how he took Ghost's watch. And he was like, yo, everything. He's like, yo, man, you don't got to take the watch. He looking at him like, yo, man, you don't got to take the watch. He's like, yo, I said everything. And so he takes his watch knowing that he did not have to take the watch.
Yeah.
2-Bit still fucking with them, right? So this whole scene with Alphonse, because you remember, Alphonse was the same dude who admitted that Tate was skimming off the top.
Yeah.
Ghost got the money, so Ghost gave him the only recording of that. And then once he started looking through the mask and hearing the voice, you could tell Tate knew, yo, I know this dude. I don't know where, but I know this dude.
As the more he talked, the more it started. The more you could see he just needed a little bit more. It was coming to him, and this dude really shot himself in the foot, because had he just left when everybody else left, he probably could have been cool for a little bit. But the fact that he kept running his goddamn mouth, it was. And when
he saw Ramona was the one he started fucking with.
Yeah.
And then what did Ghost do? Ghost automatically had a gun, told Tate, yo, take this. Right? And Tate was able to flash his police law enforcement chops, had a standoff with dude and killed him. And Ramona, I didn't think about it until after she said it, how ingenious the plan was. Because, Tate goes on TV, gives the interview, shows remorse for killing Alphonse and saying like, yo, this is a youth that gave up his life to crime and we can't lose any more like that, and I ain't gonna let that happen. So he looks like a hero.
Yep.
Everybody is insured in there. All their stuff is insured. So they're gonna get all that stuff back, including the money, and Truth gets free publicity. And Tate looks like a hero. Looks like a hero. And she was like, funny how that all fell into place, right? And I thought that was like very ingenious. And I think she's starting to see that there's certain manipulations, because with the politics and everything, they're gonna turn their blind eye. They're gonna say, yo, by any means. But she's starting to actually understand the connections
what by any means
moves. Yeah.
Yeah, she got it. And I think to me, it was good to see Tate. Just the way that that was produced, like you see his brain moving, like he didn't really have to say anything, but you could see it in his eyes. Like he was squinting, he was figuring it out. And then all the while, you've really got to deal with everything that's happening behind the scenes with Dre, right? You also got Dre running in behind the scenes too, who finally gets away because he was probably about to blow the whole thing had old dude seen him.
2-Bit saw him and was looking for him, but he was like, "Yo, that Dre." And then Dre did whatever movements he had to make to get out of there.
Which was good, because Lord knows that could have messed the entire thing up.
Right.
So I thought it was interesting to see how that whole scene played out. And like you said, it didn't end up working for the best. Everybody got what they wanted out of the situation. But then we are back in a whole other conundrum. like you said, with Ghost now knowing who killed Proctor.
Right.
And I was with you. I assumed that Ghost knew who shot his spot up. But not only does he now know who killed Proctor, he also knows that his son helped Tommy kill Proctor, which is a whole nother issue as well.
Right. And you could even tell that Ghost wanted to reconcile in some way. Because even when Tommy was like, yo, we not partners, we not working for this, he said, yeah, we're not partners, but we're brothers. And Tariq is under duress. Tariq is kidnapped. Like, what you gonna do? And then even when they were in the car before Jason robbed them, he was like, yo, what are we doing? And they had like the kind of like the talk, like, yo, you know, we gonna keep going like this forever. Like, what is it really gonna, like, where are we really gonna go with it? Like, before, it seemed like they were trying to find even footing before Mittich came through and took their money, but you could tell he really doesn't want war, and they're trying to see if after all of that it could be water under the bridge. But when they went for, and I also like, and once again, everybody is showing their intelligence for the first time really this season. Like Tommy even said, yo, we need an insurance policy too. Like when that whole scene where the cops are looking for Tariq to talk to them about Proctor, and they finally convince Vincent to let them talk to the cops so that they're not breathing down his throat. And he talks to the cops, and he fabricates this whole thing about a white man who thinks he shouldn't belong there because he's black, and that's the reason why he went out the back door. He made his whole case, and that's the thing about Tariq. For as much wild, stupid shit he does, he know how to lie.
Yeah, he's a very good liar. They should be very scared of that shit too.
He should write novels because he be coming up with these elaborate tales, right?
So like almost had me crying. I was like, oh right. Shit.
I was like, damn, yo, it's a struggle. You know, you a kid, you living off love because your father did his work, and they still racism still holding you down, fam. I feel you. Can't even live in a penthouse in peace anymore.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna go with this lie you spinning.
Right. But
he's too good of a liar, and they should be very scared of that shit because eventually people's lies will always catch up to them. That's what I'm saying. Tariq, this little beatdown he got from Vincent I don't think that's what he is truly gonna get. There's more. There's more.
Right. And I thought it was important that now Ghost has Benny on his side because when they went for the exchange, and you know, Tasha already let them know what Tariq said. Tariq was like, yeah, he gonna kill us all anyway. Like, I overheard them saying it, blah, 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 blah. So they tell Ghost and Tommy, they get one of his men, they do the exchange. And then it still was a setup where they was ready to kill everybody until Benny intervened, and they did the real mafia talk shit where he was like, yo, and this is where it comes into play. He said Tariq saved his niece from getting shot up. Tariq saved his name for getting shot up, so the kid is good with him, which means he needs to be good with Vincent. He's like, yo, Vincent, you got your money. That should take care of any grievances you have with the kid, and you don't want to go to war with me, so what's up? And they were able to piece that off. And where Ghost knew that it was Tommy was when he said the way he saw Benny and was shook and was like, yo, sorry about Proctor. And he was like, yeah, it's all right. Ghost already told me who killed my cousin, so we're going to take care of it. So now Ghost is looking at him, and they're looking at each other, so they're reading each other. So it's funny because it's almost as if Tommy thought Ghost told him that it was him.
He thought he set him up.
And Ghost goes back and is like, yo, Tommy was the one who did it. Tommy killed Proctor, the way he acted, the way he reacted. And now Tommy doesn't know that Ghost doesn't know for sure.
Yeah.
But he still knows that something's up. But it's also one of those unsaid things where you already know what time it is. So that's why when he went back to Keisha and was like, the timeout's over. Like, we're back at war.
Yeah, we're back.
Because he knows. He knows that Ghost knows. And now he's at a disadvantage because Benny's on Ghost's side.
Yep.
Right? And Benny doesn't know that Proctor ratted. He doesn't know that Tommy knows that Proctor ratted and that Tommy killed him. But the specter of Benny being around that could possibly kill him is something that might be able to protect Ghost.
Yeah, and I also think that, it's one thing that, Proctor was going to rat, but Tommy didn't go about it the right way. When you're dealing with the mafia, if you know somebody's a rat, you bring it to the man in charge. You let the man in charge decide how old dude is going to get played out. So for Tommy to just completely, not even go to Benny, tell him anything, and take matters into his own hands, no matter if he finds out that Proctor was going to snitch, Benny is still going to ride for Ghost on that side.
Right. But I don't think he really knew about Benny like that. He knew Proctor had a cousin, but I don't know if they've ever met.
That's true too.
So
yeah,
he doesn't know his ties.
It's going to be messy for Tommy at the end. I still think after watching this episode, I don't think we're ever going to get that Ghost and Tommy team up, brothers again, we back situation. I think this was them kind of giving us that piece, and that's all you're going to get. Because I don't think there's ever going to be a way where Ghost and Tommy can forget about everything that's been done and move forward. Tommy's too fucking emotional. The fact that Ghost has come for him now multiple times, he's not going to forget that. He's always going to be looking over his shoulder thinking Ghost is going to come for him. So I don't think I know everybody wants them to team up to take down Mittich. I do not think we're going to get that again. What we saw in this episode, we're not going to see again.
Right. But, you got to keep that in the back of their mind that they know that they're getting played. So now are they still going to keep making those payments? Are they still going to do all of that? Like, what's going to be the breaking point? Because I feel like Jason keeps putting himself in a position to get killed because he keeps pushing and pushing and pushing. And I tell you, Milan was the scariest dude.
Oh my God, Milan scared the shit out of me.
And if they were able to raise up against Milan, I feel like they could do it against anyone. Like they beat everyone, including the feds. So Jason don't really know like that. But unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, he may learn. I do like the way that they came to Tasha and Ghost came to the realization that Tommy killed Proctor because they know Tariq was the one that disabled the alarm and opened the door. And then why? He was like, yeah, he probably called him and told him to get out. And then just by happenstance, he sees that Proctor's daughter's there, gets her out of there and saves her life. And it's
because he said, I checked his phone logs.
Right.
Like he talked to Tommy right before the shooting. So he knows.
So they know. So now you got... So what is going to happen with Tariq? Is he still going to work with Vincent after all of this? Is he what is he going to do? Like what's his whole situation with school? What's his whole situation with the drugs? Where is he going to stay? I think he's staying with Tasha, but what's going to happen with him? Is Tommy going to go after Ghost full force again with or without Mittich's blessing? Really, where does Ghost go from here? He don't want the smoke, but he going to have to do something. And then you still got Dre floating around working with the feds. And it seems like he's trying to move his way back up the ranks, but it ain't safe on the streets for him. So there's still a lot of uncertainty whether or not Tate is actually going to win this governor's race or make it to the governor. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of uncertainty still. And while this was like a transition episode, like this was one of the things where there's been so much sensational shit that's happened with this show that this was a very grounded episode, and you almost are like, damn, nobody jumped out of a helicopter and froze in the middle of in the air and blew anybody's heads off. Like that's crazy, but
I was still nervous grounded. A couple times though. Yeah. I mean, anytime you got Tommy and Ghost that close in the in vicinity, I was kind of nervous because you just never know with Tommy. He's such a wild card. Ghost, you kind of know he's always going to play it by the cuff because he really wants to be this businessman at the core of everything. I mean, at the end of the day, I was just happy we didn't see any Angela.
The ghost of Angela pass.
Yeah, man, I'm tired of that. They got to let that go. But I all in all, I think this episode was good. It raises a lot of questions, and anytime you have an episode raise a lot of questions, that means eventually we're going to get these answers. So I think everything that we're hoping for and wanting to happen in this series is coming. It's just a matter of how they're setting it up. Yeah, for sure. Did you like this episode? What did you think about it, like overall? Like, did you like it? Did you dislike it? Did you? I guess I'm in the middle. I mean, I didn't overly love it. Like, oh, this was it. And I wasn't like, oh, this ain't shit. I'm kind of just like in the middle. I mean, it's anything that, like I said, if it's going to give me questions that I want answers to, then cool. But I can't ride for it hard or not either way. I kind of am in the middle. What do you? I'm kind of like, I was like, whatever. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, it's cool. It was a cool episode. I wasn't off the hook. It wasn't one of my favorites, but I do like the grounded
the grounded episodes as opposed to like the super duper sensational. If they're gonna do super sensational shit, I'd rather there be some type of sense made. But I think this episode was a plot device. It was a transition period to get to that 7th episode. Because as you remember, there's going to be.
Where does the break take place?
The break is after episode 10. At least that's what it was originally scheduled to be. So we have 4 more episodes. We have another month before the break. So the whole month. So basically, the whole month of October, right? And then in November, it's going to break and then come back in January with the final 5 episodes. So you think about it, this is episode 6, right? Episode 5 is where Proctor died. So that was like the mid-season within this season's finale. So you got like a major death or whatever. So now this one was transitioning into the final 4 before we go on break. So things should really start to pick up.
I hope so. I think somebody else is going to die. And I, if anything happens to Tommy, I think it's going to be because of Keisha. I think Keisha's going to be his demise. As much as people want to see, Tommy and Keisha work, I just don't think she is the right person for Tommy. I actually am with Kate. I agree with Tommy's mom. She's not that person. And you see it a lot in this episode too. They're trying to organize a lot of different things. And she just keeps saying, I don't fuck with them. I don't like, girl. It's not about that at this point. At this point, we have a mission.
Right.
And Tommy has already agreed to partake in said mission. You ride with him or you don't. It's really that simple. I don't need all the extra bullshit. So I don't really like Keisha no more, to be honest with you.
You better tell him you fed up.
Yeah, I am. Like, we just know, the one thing I can say about Holly is, as crazy as she was, when Tommy said something, she listened. She was ride or die for Tommy. And I just feel like this girl here, she just kind of rides the waves. Like, she wants to be that girl for Tommy, but I don't think that she truly can be.
Right. Yeah, well, I can't really argue with you on that, and it's going to show like she can't even really
she wasn't doing the money right either.
The money laundering and stuff like that, and the bookkeeping and all of that. Like Tasha has to teach her, so she is a liability, and it's only a matter of time before she reveals herself as such. All right, let's get into these. Let's get into these listener comments. Let's see. First by Tapatio Tara on Twitter. I told y'all Benny was somebody. Kudos to Chrissy for calling it on Tariq being in on the kidnapping. The look on Tommy's face when he realized Benny was Proctor's well-connected cousin and that Ghost knew it was him who killed Proctor, priceless. Tommy looked worried. Also, Keisha saying she would kill Ghost was a laugh of the season. Get the fuck out of here.
Thank you. Like, girl, seriously, you said her name is Tara. Tara, girl. When she said that, I was like, are we serious, sis? Like, you really? Like, this is a person who literally doesn't even want to carry a gun. Like, didn't even want to go in the courthouse to do what she needed to do. You know what I mean? Like, just sit the fuck down. Nobody believes you. You need more people.
Right. Yeah, I was like, yo, we know you ride for him. It's all good. You don't got front. You don't
stop trying to prove it.
You ain't got a lot to kick it. You feel me? You ain't got a lot to kick it. But we all say things when we're mad, and sometimes it's killing drug lords that you're not really gonna do.
I'll kill that motherfucker myself.
I kill that motherfucker myself.
Oh, okay, girl.
I was like, yes, Keisha, yes.
But in a video game? Because not in real life.
Yes, bitch. Ride for your man. Tell him you'll kill her twice, girl. All right. Next one is from King Miles 22 on Twitter, Christopher Thomas. Do you guys think Tommy needs to get rid of Keisha? I can see like multiple ways why she will be his downfall. Her son, we seen it for like 2 episodes, and she don't know how to separate business and personal. Plus, I don't know how this is going to end. Vincent, Benny, Tate, and the Connect, all problems. I agree. Like I said, they all the outside forces in power have been enclosing Ghost and Tommy, and the walls have slowly continued to come in and tighten and close all around them. So they've been inflicting their presence on them throughout the entire season. So you have Jason, you have Vincent, you have Benny, you have Tate, you have the feds. Like, there ain't no rest. And then they're going at each other. Yeah. So there's no rest. So at this point, I can honestly say, even with the course that we're on, I'm not 100 on which way it's going to go. I'm really not 100 on which way it's going to go. But, that's at least cool that we're still on our feet guessing, because we have about 9 more episodes to go. So, and we already spoke about whether or not he needs to get rid of Keisha. I do think that she has some liability around her. But we'll see.
That's funny. You would think that I read that comment before I said what I said.
Right.
Because it said everything that I was thinking. Like, I can't stand that shit. So kudos to you for catching that as well.
Word. And thank y'all for getting it in. I know we sent that out today as we were recording a little bit earlier this week. But as always, for everybody, if you want to send in your commentary on the latest episode of Power, even after you see this one or any other ones, you can hit us on Twitter at Power After Hours. Send an email to powerafterhourspod, P-O-D, at gmail.com. See, if you hit us in the comments or the replies on Twitter, we see them all. Hit us up and we got you.
Yeah.
All right. So we're 6 episodes in, 9 to go. We're still on this journey. We're still here, the final season of Power. You still feeling good about it, Chrissy?
I'm still riding away, bro. I'm just trying to see where we end up. That's all. I just want to know where we end up. I don't know. And I think that's the good part about it right now, is that we really don't know where it can go. And I think any good show, if they showed all their hands right now, I'd be pissed off. So I'm happy with where it's going.
Right. Me too. I like some sense of unpredictability, because even if you think about it, we didn't get Sax we got Blanca, but we didn't get no Sax. We didn't get no Warner. We did get Blanca though, and only in a capacity to question Tariq. So who knows what they got cooking on their side? Yeah. Remember, it doesn't really matter that he has the unicorn because Proctor's dead.
Yeah.
And the niece still has the recording. So there's a lot of things going down, and I'm just waiting to see what happens next.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it from us. Thank you once again for listening. Thank you once again for joining us. We appreciate each and every one of you. You can catch Power After Hours anywhere you listen to podcasts, including YouTube. You can catch us everywhere there. You go to nonstopculture.com/power, and it has all of our previous podcasts recorded and every way in which you can subscribe. So if you need that link, definitely check it out. The link is also in the bio of our Twitter at Power After Hours. Chrissy, where can they find you on the socials?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Chrissy Bree.
All right. And I am on all social media at Jeff J Says. And that is it from us. We are wrapped. And until next time, we will see you next week.
Peace.
I want you to sing it with me. They say this is a big rich town. Yeah. I just come from the poorest part. Right like city life, I gotta make it. This is where it goes. Yeah. I just have enough. Wait a minute. They say this is a big rich. Say what? I just come from bright light, city light. This is where it goes down. Yeah. I just have enough. Legal, baby. I gotta make it. South side.